So the Quartering, who is somebody who I've criticized in the past, decided that he wanted to show his love for Elon Musk, but in not a normal way where you're like, oh man, I really appreciate you. He was basically begging for Elon to stay the CEO of Twitter, and the thing that started that was the fact that Elon put out a poll where he asked if he should step down as head of Twitter and said he would abide by the results of the poll. Personally, I voted yes because I don't think he's done like a single positive thing for the platform so far, other than like maybe unbanning people because I don't like seeing people get banned for just speaking their mind. Even if they have harmful views, I don't think you should hide views from anybody just because they might be harmful. I think that's a weird way to live and a weird way to think. So I try to stay away from stuff like that. Now, the Quartering, on the other hand, he didn't like that very much. He didn't like that people chose to vote that they wanted him gone. And he had this to say. The vote no has picked up a full point in the last hour. We cannot lose Elon this early. Vote no and like and retweet. You can view the poll from the tweet. Look, I don't want Elon Musk to step down until he has reshaped company culture and found a suitable replacement. Please consider voting now and then immediately retweeting this. We must defeat the bots. I 100% guarantee the Tesla investors fire up those bots and vote to have him step down. By the way, something I always thought he was going to do anyway, still worth fighting. So the obvious question is, if you think that he's going to step down anyway, why are you making this big push? Like you're acting, this is basically the equivalent of America, was it? That sings, oh, American Idol. It's basically the Twitter version of American Idol voting. And you're acting like it's this big thing. Elon is not going to hire somebody who he doesn't want to do the job. Somebody who he hires is probably going to be more savvy when it comes to the social media stuff, but probably have the same values. So for you to act like, oh man, this is the fight for free speech, and trust me, he goes harder later on in this video. We're just warming up. But for you to act like this is your Bunker Hill, your Gettysburg, your Midway, your Stalingrad, it's just not that. Was it Stalingrad? That was like the big pushback for the Russians against Germany in the World War II. Am I thinking right? I don't know. Correct me in the comment. If you don't vote no on this poll, you don't care about free speech. You don't care about the public square. This is everything. At Elon Musk, I know you want to step down, and I fully expected this, but this is way too early. You need more time to shift the culture than a few weeks. Shift the culture. He's acting like this is like an NFL team. We got a new GM in, and he's going to just change the culture. We're going to play hard-nosed football. Like, what culture is he shifting? He fired all the people he doesn't want there. Clearly, there is already a shift put in place. Unless you're talking about the world culture. And while I do think Elon Musk is pretty influential, I doubt that he's influential enough to affect the course of world culture. Where is at Libs of TikTok during the most important poll in YouTube history? Vote no for Elon to step down as CEO. Aren't you like boys with Libs of TikTok? Why are you calling them out? That's like your homie. What are you doing? Well, I'm pretty sure you guys have a more private means of communication. Could you like maybe do that? Because this is all you're doing here is just alienating one of your possible internet friends. I don't know if that's actually his internet friend. I know they've spoke highly of each other, but it is what it is. The most important poll in YouTube history, I guarantee you, no matter what Elon Musk says, Susan Wojcicki is not going to change her YouTube rules just because he said it. Like, you could say the most important poll in Twitter history, maybe, and I that'd be at least understandable, but not the fact that you're going to go like, oh yeah, this will drastically affect the course of YouTube over the next 5 years if Elon Musk steps down. Really? Will it really? I disagree. I don't think that a completely different platform is going to change because of what one platform does. But that's just the way I see it. Who knows? If I could get just 3 minutes on the phone with Elon Musk, I could convince him to stay a little longer. Please share the above video. We cannot lose this vote. I think in his head he's like internalizing it as an election. Like he really thinks that this will like, I mean, on some level you might think, oh, this is gonna like somewhat affect public elections, considering all the allegations of Twitter affecting how people vote and how people get information. But again, if he's gonna hire somebody, so let's say Elon is this, paragon of free speech, even though he's banning people left and right who make jokes about him, and I'm not even gonna get into that. But anyway, let's say he's this paragon of free speech. You think he's gonna hire somebody who doesn't want to uphold free speech? Like, what do you think he's got? Who? This is confusing me, honestly. I'm confusing myself here because, like, what kind of person would hire somebody when they've said, okay, I have these set of values and I want these values upheld. I'm gonna be the CEO of this company. All right, this is too much for me. I'm gonna hire somebody else. I still want these values to be upheld. He hasn't said that he doesn't. So why would he hire somebody else? Does he think that he would just hire somebody so ineffectual that it just wouldn't matter? Because that's the only thing that makes sense from where I'm sitting, at least, is that, he just doesn't trust anybody else. I don't know why he trusts Elon so much. I don't know what Elon did to, gain this high level of trust from him. Ever since he got this reply from Elon, he's sort of been, just a little bit hype. And in fact, when Elon put out this tweet, no one who wants the job can actually keep Twitter alive. There is no successor. That's a whole nother can of worms. I'm not going to get into that. And then the quartering steps in, superhero he is. He goes, Elon, I want to do it and I can keep it alive. Not only that, grow it far beyond what it is now. I have a complete understanding of alt tech, what Twitter needs and what creators need. I also have 12 years running a marketing agency that represents Fortune 500 companies. Even if you laughed out loud at this, I am 100% certain that I could at the very least help immensely with prioritizing product rollouts that will maximize growth in the shortest time frame, and I would be happy to do it for free. Well, I'm immensely sure that you were just trying to use big words there to sound as smart as possible. He didn't use the biggest words possible. It all makes sense, but still, I will prioritize product rollouts to maximize growth in the shortest time frame. Do you really think he's gonna hire you? Genuinely, he's not gonna hire you. Okay, let's offer it. Let's just get that out of the way. He's not gonna see this, your quick little resume here, and be like, I should hire Jeremy from the quartering. Okay. And I don't think Jeremy's a bad guy. I just don't think even though he said, I run a marketing agency, that doesn't mean you have the experience to handle Twitter. And given that somebody with no experience came in and tried to add all these new features, I doubt he's going to have another person with no experience. Or he might just be like, new blood to the tech space. That sounds great. That would be a good idea. Matter of fact, I will do this. I don't know. I don't live in Elon's head. But I find it very, very, very unlikely that he would do that. But hey, shoot your shot. The worst he can say is no, I guess. Yes, Twitter is the public square. Losing freedom of speech in that square. Well, no, it's just square. Anyway, is more important than 9/11. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? It makes me feel bad to say it, but it's also true. I'm actually kind of speechless by this. I was spent a lot of time thinking how to respond to this, because it's really interesting. Obviously, off rip, you're like 9/11, what? But losing a right, is important, and I don't want to weigh people's lives like that. It feels like I'm weighing people's lives, and obviously there's people that died, and if Twitter goes down tomorrow, more than likely no one will die. All right, and maybe the internet will be better for it, even though I think people will just migrate away. So all in all, I think this is a dumb take, but I understand what he's trying to say here. He's trying to be like, oh yeah, see, if we lose Twitter, we lose something more than Twitter. It's weirdly phrased. In fact, badly phrased. It's very badly phrased. In fact, it makes him sound like an idiot. But it's understandable what he means. He should have been like, man. I don't know why he would say it's more important than 9/11. Because, if he heard like a 9/11 joke, or he saw like the one in Rick and Morty where they choose not to do a 9/11, he'd be like, you're disrespecting the people who lost their lives. But then you say something like this, where if you lose free speech on Twitter, then that's more important than 9/11. That's so weird. Especially, like, let's just say you could only say a certain preset amount of things. At some point, people would start migrating to different platforms, meaning that it wouldn't be the public square anymore. It's not the only thing you can use. It's the thing that a lot of people use, but still, again, just badly phrased. I understand what he means, but I had to read it back a couple times at first, because like, the freedom of speech is more important than 9/11. I mean, rights are very important, but I just don't like to weigh people's lives, especially not in that way. That's pretty much the highlights of Jeremy's sort of meltdown, I guess you could say. Throughout yesterday, he just flew off the deep end. It's clear that it's like really important to him, and he thinks that this is like the marquee battle for free speech. But I think he's just taking it way too far. And because he's so worried and he's so invested, he keeps just saying things that are just not worth saying. And then he just knocks his credibility down just a little bit. And then people will use that to discredit him. Again, I don't think he's like a bad guy. We do disagree on things. I think he's earnest here. I think that he really thinks that he's trying to help people. But the way he's doing it is just so cringy and just so odd and uncomfortable that a lot of people are just turned off to what he's saying. So I'm going to end it off here. Thank you all so much for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. Goodbye.